It's time for the Greg Gibson Show. Find out each week what's going on inside Perry Central Commodore football. Exclusively on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosper Communications.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
And welcome to the Greg Gibson Show. And Coach, last week you took on Clarksville. You defeated them 51-30, and I guess Sawyer is now the king of running backs in the PLAC.
Yeah, he had a good ball game. I actually sat out the last part of the fourth quarter with a stinger type of a shoulder type of injury, but he ran the ball well. The first three quarters, had 93 yards on 12 carries. So it still continues to be an explosive runner, averaging 7-8 yards a carry, and he's a threat to go the distance anytime he touches it. So he's had a really good season so far, and I think he just keeps working harder and harder every day.
And looking at the PLAC standings, I guess this week's game will have a lot to say with who wins. Who either you'll have 2-game lead, or West Washington will be tied for the lead.
Right, exactly. It's kind of and we talked about this going into this next 3-game series here. We'll tell the tale, and then this is the first game up. So our kids are laser focused on this week, and like I said, it's gonna go a long ways to kind of start to separating teams from the championship here, and so we're obviously got all our eyes on them, and they do some different things, so we'll have to have a good week of preparation.
And when I was interviewing Coach Cronin, I'll tell you what, that offensive line has a lot to do with how Sawyer's done this year.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he'll be the first one to tell you that. I mean, it's night and day. The kids last year, they were kind of learning the ropes, and each game you would go into, you could see different mistakes. And this year, it's just been fun to watch them kind of gel together, and they work well together as a group. And there's not much you can throw at them right now that they haven't seen, and they're a pretty confident group. And Coach Cronin does a great job with them, and they obviously they're the motor making us run right now on offense.
And we'll be back on the Greg Gibson Show right after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosper Communications.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
This is the most important, amazingest game ever played in the universe. The pitcher is fierce. Danny Roberts is up at bat. And the crowd goes wild! He just won the game! Let's go! Yes!
We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
And welcome back to the Greg Gibson Show. And we're joined by offensive line coach for the Perry Center Commodores, Glenn Cronin. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing good. I'll tell you what. And looking at the way that the Perry Center Commodores have ran the ball this year, I would say that it has a lot to do with not only Sawyer but also your offensive line.
Oh, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Sawyer is a great back. We got another one of our backs, fullbacks back here this past week too, which he showed what he was doing last year with running our traps and stuff like that. Mitchell boy, so he did well too. But yeah, the offensive line, they're really got a good group this year. Real good group.
And who are some of those guys that are on the offensive line?
My left tackle is Caleb House. This is actually his first year full-time starting. Last year he hit some spots whenever we had guys out and stuff. The left guard is Bodie Cronin. He's really been a force this year, especially traps and powers. And him and Sawyer Gibbon, first cousins, man, I tell you what, and they've been locking up and they were running power going out there on the outside, so that's been really good. My center is also a middle linebacker on defense, Reese Winter. But last week I had to pull him out because of shoulder injury and had to start one of our tight ends, Max Brigman, down there. So he's been Max is going to go with us this week too because of an injury. Then my right guard is Gordon Sprinkle, which is a 4-year starter for me. One of my 4-year starters. I think I've only had 2 in my 13 years of coaching, and he moves very well, gets out on backers, covers guys up. Then I got another 2-year starter over on my right tackle that is Trent Sprinkle, and he is a beast. Whenever we're running power, and that's one of the other reasons why we run power to the right. Those guys collapse that right side down so well. Guards come off that tackle spot, and they're able to roll. Usually we don't even have to pick up that middle linebacker because the guys cover them up so well. So pretty good group.
Okay, and this week the Commodores will take on West Washington at West Washington. What can you tell us about them?
Well, I'll tell you, they're the front line on their B that we're going to be handling. They got some pretty good-sized boys. I was just actually looking at their starting grid there, and I don't think they got a kid that's under 6'1" on that front line and weigh anywhere from 220 to 280, it looks like. So, looks like we're going to have our hands full with these guys. They're tied to their DN on the I think strong side, what they run to, the number 25 boy. It's also the running back. We're going to have to control him or he's going to give us fits all night. Now, do I think my boys are physical and they can be just as physical as these guys? Absolutely. These guys haven't really backed down. They have not backed down from anybody yet. So we just play our ball game up front and let our backs find them seams, and I think we'll be all right.
And this game will also have a lot to do with who wins actually, you guys, if West Washington win, they'd be tied with you.
Right.
The Patoka Lake Athletic Conference. So this is a big game.
It is. It's exciting. And it's been a long time since we've tied before and stuff as far as actually going through here, maybe possibly be able to do it outright. It's very exciting for the kids. Get that picture up on the wall at school, and a big old patch on their letterman's jacket. So, yeah, it's a big thing. It's a real big thing.
Well, Coach, good luck this week versus West Washington.
I appreciate it. You have a good one.
And you've been listening to the Greg Gibson Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network. Our Red Motor Brusco Communications will be back right after these messages from our sponsors.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
And welcome back to the Greg Gibson Show. And as I said earlier, this week's game against West Washington has a lot to do with who will win the PLAZ this season.
Yeah, I mean they're a quality ball team. They've well coached, and the kids play hard. It's going to be a fun game. We got to go up there, and that's always kind of a tough place to play sometimes. But they're a team that's kind of finding themselves. Honestly, they were really young last year, and they ran off 4 straight wins to start the season off, and ran into Paoli. It was on Paoli had a good night, and then they didn't play last week. So, it's a team that likes to run the ball. They want to run it. They'll kind of do a little bit differently than we do, where we're more of a power gap scheme type team. They're going to do a lot of veer and midline option type stuff. The Roberts boy, which is their main tailback, he's 6 foot, 200 pounds, so he's a load when he comes over the ball. And the quarterback seems to be making some pretty good decisions. So defensively, we're going to have our hands full. We're going to have to make sure we're in the right spot. And then on our offensive side, we are what we are. We're going to come out of the game, and we're going to try to see if we can get our power game going. So I think our front line is ready for the task, and they've taken it as a challenge to kind of lead us to this championship.
And as I said, the West Washington game is big this week, but you've got Springs Valley and Mitchell left, so you've got a good schedule left.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because it kind of gets us ready for the playoffs too. Because we're going to have to be. It's not a situation where we can just take games off. We're going to have to each week be prepared for who's coming up because every game means something, and I think that's a neat situation taking you into the playoffs where you just had 3 straight weeks of just having to be at your top game. And we're going to take it one game at a time. We're focused on West Washington right now. We'll worry about the rest of them later. But I like the way our schedule set up.
Well, Coach, good luck this week.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
And you've been listening to the Greg Gibson Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Bros for Communications. We'll see you next week.